Hello YouTube and welcome back to another Rage video where tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are, for the first time in pretty much over a year now, we are going to be taking a listen to Rush. Well, I say yeah, it's been about like 6 months since the last Rush song I actually did was Show Don't Tell on their Presto album. However, I wasn't really sure about which one I wanted to get back into, because one of the greatest things you're ever going to learn about Rush, if you're just new to this group yourself, is that there isn't technically, from what I've observed myself, there isn't technically one single album that is in any way better than the others. But I think it's just because Rush are that good that each album is very particular, you might say, because it's not about, I mean, it's not just about the presentation, it's not just about the philosophy of some of the things that Rush talk about, and it's about execution, because there are millions of things out there in this world that are good on paper but bad in practice. Rush, however, have pretty much, if you want to know why this is, in my opinion, the single greatest band period to ever come out of Canada, well, you're just about to find out, eh? And it's been roughly about 1 whole year coming up since the passing of the legendary Neil Peart, God rest his soul. But I think wherever Neil Peart is right now, I think he will possibly take some kind of pleasure in the fact that his legacy, along with Lee's and Lifeson's, are going to continue. That's an encouraging thought, especially for a song that's called Faithless. Now, I'll get on to what I understand about Neil Peart's particular beliefs when it comes to religion after this. I'm not entirely sure whether they're 100% true, because I do know he happened to not necessarily believe, he has his own beliefs, you might say, and he's well, we'll get into that shortly. So, if you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, links will all be in the description down below. Let's begin. Faithless in 3, 2, this is just going to be a blast.
To steer by a guiding star beats a spirit in the sky, and all the preaching voices and fevers of dreams surround as they move among the crowd. Fools and fears are well disguised in the temple and marketplace. Temple and marketplace, like a stone in the river against the floods of spring, I will quietly resist, I will quietly resist. Like the willows in the wind or the cliffs along the ocean, I will quietly resist, I will quietly resist. I don't have faith in faith, I don't believe in belief. You can call me faithless, you can call me faithless, but I still cling to hope, and I believe in love, and that's faith enough. choices leading up or down. And all the shouting voices trying to throw me off my course. Some by sermon, some by force. Fools and fears are dangerous in the temple and marketplace. In the temple and marketplace. Like the forest bows to winter beneath the deep white silence, I will quietly resist. I don't have faith in faith. I don't believe in beliefs. You can call me faithless. You can call me faithless. But I still cling to hope. And I believe in love. And that's faith enough for me. And that's faith enough for me. Like a flower in the desert that only blooms at night, I will quietly resist. I don't have faith in faith. I don't believe in beliefs. You can call me faithless. You can call me faithless. But I still cling to hope. And I believe in love. And that's faith enough for me. And that's faith enough for me. And that's faith enough for me.
It was almost as if like Leon Lifeson had almost no strength left for anything except keeping that chord strong. That was that there was. I wish I would. I know fine well what I'm going to say, and so I may as well start by saying that was Faithless by Rush. That is, it's like a beautiful bit of fresh air, and it was referencing exactly what I said earlier when it comes to Neil Peart, is that it's not that he disbelieves so much, I would say, in the concept of religion. What he disbelieves in is that the people who preach it and the people who practice it are doing it 100% because it's what they believe in. He thinks that, and I must admit there's been at points in my life where I think that there are ulterior motives to why people do the things that they do. And that, now I don't want to really want to go around ridiculing people in positions of religion, i.e. rabbis, priests, Buddhist monks, for example. I don't want to start saying that they've vocated their lives simply to doing a task that is going to be protected but by in any which way whatsoever. It's the people like the people that I referenced earlier in Machine Messiah or the Leper Messiah, people who preach the word of God and save you from the fires of hell for the charge of about £5 or $10 or something like that. And I don't know whether it's just because, in fact, maybe it was likely that Rush were taking, because what you need to remember is that Neil Peart worked in London, I think, during I believe it was the beginning of the 1960s, when the Beatles had just about killed off every single competition that could be had. And but the point I want to like exercise more than anything is not so much that he doesn't believe that he doesn't have faith. He does have faith, but it's not in people who lie, cheat, and steal. What Neil has faith in is what happens after a catastrophe happens. For those who are unfamiliar with the story of Pandora's Box, one must remember that the last sprite to leave Pandora's Box, opened by was it Emetheus and his wife Pandora? The last sprite to be released was the sprite of hope, which always follows whenever a catastrophe, a disaster takes place. Just look at the world we live in today. If hope follows this tragedy, it will be almost a gift from God in itself. I like to, and that's what I sort of have my faith, is that things are going to get better. It seems sometimes like a very naive thought, but then again, if we didn't have any thoughts of that kind whatsoever, then why should we try, and why not just enjoy what we have instead of looking to... Again, I've said this a few times before, but I reckon human beings are not good at thinking long term. I think we live for today and we can get whatever we can, and sometimes there are people on this world, not calling them out or anything, but sometimes they think they will get through today, and sometimes that's about as far as their mind goes. It annihilates the future. Even in the times we live in right now, it almost eliminates the need to be worried. And that's very similar to Neil in many ways. He's sort of like adopted the philosophy of, I'm not going to be afraid, I'm not going to be worried, because I have what I need. I have the faith in that there's a chance to do what I can today, just in case it might not happen tomorrow. And he has faith in love. However, and I think it's quite interesting, is that what does Neil technically constitute as love? Is he talking about a love for his own partner? Is he talking about a love for his because Neil Peart is again another strong case of somebody who suffered for his art. In amongst people who straight up like, I mean, Neil writes a lot of really gripping material about the way his upbringing during high school, also about the fact that he believed at one point his life was so mundane. He was an analog man when he used to be a digital kid. He was an analog kid, and then he became the digital man. He became somebody who was merely a product of the machine age. And it's not, if you are listening to Rush for the very first time, Faithless might not be the best song to begin sort of like Rush's 40 plus year discography. A better idea would be to start either on Signals or Moving Pictures. Or if you want something that's a little bit looser, 2112 or Hemispheres is a really good one as well. Just to give you some of my preferences. But now, I suppose with all that being said and done, with a lot of the things that I've heard Neil talk about in Cinderella Man, Circumstances, The Trees is another really good one example, Tom Sawyer, Witch Hunt, The Camera Eye, the list goes on, and there's a lot of things. Time Stands Still, The Big Money, and now I'm starting to see the use in the proverb, hell is other people. I have a firm conviction that even though Neil is a big fan of Ayn Rand, I wonder if he's ever taken into I wonder actually, because I've got a magazine somewhere in this I can see it right now. I'll tell you what, I'll get it out for you right now. Just I want to show you guys this example because I think it's. 1 second, just to make sure I don't break anything. I'll see if I can just get it out because this will be pretty interesting to find. Is that I bought a classic rock magazine about like a couple of months ago, and it's actually got. Wait for it, just in case. I sort of like have to like dig to the bottom of this pile. And it's not here. It's I'll dig it out some other time. But the point is that it talks a lot about Rush's early studio days, from the making of what was the one that had like Hemispheres Part 1 in it? It was Goodbye to Old. I can't quite remember what it was. I know. Well, I think it was like. I'll by the time I dig it out, I'll do this. I'll do this properly. But back to the matter at hand a little bit. It's quite rare sometimes, especially when you return to something for quite a long time, is that you don't quite realize that Rush's. I don't really want to say their music hasn't necessarily changed, because I don't think it was in their intention to really change who they were. I mean, from whether you want to talk about Working Man all the way up to The Garden, I don't particularly think that Rush really are the sort of people that like to change who they are just so they can remain relevant. Like I've said before, themes such as conformity and aspects of what you choose to believe in, love, justice, liberty, racial equality, those sort of ideas don't just die away because people stop talking about them. They never stop being talked about, because look at the world we live in. Look at the events that just happened in the year 2020. Look at the bigger picture and think that Rush were. And again, there are thousands of people just like Rush right now, and they're living among us right now. People that do think long term, people that know fine well that these songs will remain classics because they talk to us like real people. They talk to us because we all have one point, or maybe it's a very specific sort of person that's inside us all that makes us realize that there is something pretty much not quite right with the world we're in right now. And Rush are not so much exposing this lie to the light of truth. What they're doing is that they are presenting it, and then they are showing that how it's at fault because it contradicts to their line of thinking. And when you put it into that sort of perspective, maybe we are not so different from what the world doesn't necessarily think about us. I mean, again, if you wanted like a stronger example of this, Subdivisions on the album Signals is all about being conformed or being cast out. But as you can see from the example in Faithless, Rush are not cast out, because to cast Rush out is like casting love out. It's casting out maturity, diversity, new thinking. You can't expel. Rush rewards its audience because they speak to them from highbrow to highbrow in a very unsnobbish manner, and that is one of the best parts of Rush overall. They are not snobs at what they do. They do what they do because they love what they do. That is their faith. And you know what? Next time I do a Rush song, I'm going to put the shirt on, because I couldn't think of any other reason. Because Rush have got faith in me. They had faith in the future, and I got faith in these guys. Can't really say any more than that. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this reaction video. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys thought of Faithless by Rush. Please also make sure to also like and subscribe to get daily notifications when my videos come out. And I hope to see all of you guys again in the next reaction video. Take care. Bye-bye for now.